Hello everybody, Kite562 here with another episode of Tentacle Tales of Terror for you all on this October 29th of 2024. So sit back and relax and listen to what I have to say about the thing on the doorstep. So be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy the content on this channel. I'm your host, Kite562 of Kite562 Books and Manga Reviews on this October 29th with The Thing on the Doorstep by H.P. Lovecraft. So sit back and relax and listen to what I have to say about this story. I'm also currently reading Desperation by Stephen King, so I'll have that review up whenever, so probably sometime in late November, early December, on sometime at 6 p.m. most notably on a Friday, so there's that. So be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you enjoy the content on this channel. So let's get on with the review of my thoughts on The Thing on the Doorstep by H.P. Lovecraft. So for the plot of this story, the narrator of this story was sent to Arkham Asylum for shooting his young friend named Edward Pickman Derby. I don't know if he could have any relation to Richard Upton Pickman of Pickman's Models, so I'll leave a link to the story of the top right of this video to that episode. So, Edward Pickman Derby, the narrator, also claims that he avenged Edward in some way, but all the fingers are still pointed at the narrator. So, on page 990, I'll also leave a link to the book that I cite from. Edward was 8 and the narrator was 16, so there's an 8-year gap between the two. It also seems that Edward was a highly intelligent child for his age. Could the narrator have killed Edward in a fit of jealous rage? Edward's parents were also overprotective of him. However, what started his interest into these demonic drawings and poems? That's my question here. Did Edward stumble upon the Necronomicon in his youth? Or is it another self-insert character for Lovecraft, like with Randolph Carter here, which it's also another self-insert character from the Silver Key stories. And so continuing on, with the introduction of Asenath, A-S-E-N-A-T-H, with Asenath Way, a potential love interest for Edward happens, but there's something mysterious about this woman. She could make dogs howl with a certain motion of her right hand. She's also a skilled hypnotist and could do so much. Within a month, both her and Edward were married, and there's a bunch of side skips in this story, or time jumps if you will, time skips. I apologize for the mispronunciation here, but I'm human. So again, this Asenath woman really jumped into Edward's life with a hint of mystical mystery in my eyes as I continued reading this story. And so continuing on, as I read this story, it's really tragic to see Edward change so rapidly in just 3 years. Being married to Asenath, is the woman herself consuming Edward's life essence in some way, slowly changing him into a shell of his former self? This marriage feels more like a power play by Asenath herself, just so she could use Edward as a puppet is how I see it, which is quite scary and disturbing in my opinion. And to finish off this review, my final thoughts, it was a great story. It felt like a mix of Invasion of the Body Snatchers and a mix of the film Death Becomes Her, but a more darker take on this dark comedy, which is more of like a supernatural horror type of story with some sci-fi elements twisted in. So all in all, I found that to be a really delightful experience as a whole as I read this story. And I have to say, definitely give the story The Thing on the Doorstep a read if you enjoy supernatural thriller stories. And that's it for episode 64 of Tentacle Tales of Terror. I'm your host, Kite562 of Kite562 Books and Manga Reviews, signing out. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful day, everybody. Later.